Good afternoon, colleagues. We present to your attention a report on the topic of our study. The structure of presentation is as follows. See slide 2. Introduction, testable hypothesis, research method, results and conclusion. Investment in environmental protection are crucial for achieving a goal of building green economy. The purpose of this study is, firstly, to assess the state and trends of Ukrainian companies' investment for environmental purposes. Secondly, to identify the determinants of the impact on the volume of environmental protection investment. Finally, to determine present or absent of a link between an environmental investment and financial performance of a company. Therefore, the overarching research questions were studied are as follows. You can see on slide 3. The theoretical underpinning for analysis come in the form of the legitimacy theory, institutional theory, stakeholder theory, resource-based view, slack resource theory, and the good management theory. Our study examined relationship among ecological investment and financial indicator for Ukrainian companies on the basis of proposing appropriate hypotheses with different determinants. You can see on the slide 5 till 8. First determinant, environmentally damaging economic activities. Second determinant, company sales. The third determinant, company net profit. Fourth determinant, environmental protection investment. Research method. The research method are descriptive and correlation-regression analysis. Once the sample is created at the basis of data from statistical reports for a period from 2010 till 2019. The data analyzed using linear regression based on the following models. See slide 10. In this slide, we see AP represents environmental protection investment, AD shows environmentally damaging industry, S is a company sale, NP is a company net profit, FP is a financial performance. Descriptive data analysis. The analysis shows that there is a positive trend in environmental protection expenditure in nominal terms, both in aggregate ones and in terms of components over the past 10 years. You can see in the table 1. There is a tendency to increase the share of long-term capital investments, the share of which made up a record of 37.17% in 2019. It serves as evidence that priorities of environmental policy in country have changed toward increasing project creating long-term effect. Next slide. We can observe a very small share of total environmental protection expenditure in the total GDP of the country, from 1.5% to 1% with a downward trend, table 2. At the same time, for Europe, such expenditures are steadily 2% of GDP. As part of total capital investment in environmental protection, business investment accounted for the vast majority until 2018, although since 2016, there was a period of significant decrease of business investments in long-term environmental projects. See table 3. If we compare the share of environmental capital investment of economic entities with total investment for the same period, we can see that their share is insignificant and decreased from 4.5% in 2016 to 1.7% in 2019. The share of such investments in GDP of Ukraine 0.23% in 2019, and in the total in the environmental protection expenditure of economic entities 0.8% in 2019 is too small and tends to decrease. In Europe, the share of environmental protection investment in total investments of corporation was also relatively low in this period and amounted to 1.7% only in 2019, which is nevertheless that more than in Ukraine. Thus, we can make a conclusion that there is a chronic underfunding of environmental spending in the country and decrease of business interest in implementing long-term environmental projects. This does not give us opportunity to claim about active implementation of environmental goals of sustainable development by Ukrainian company. Hypothesis testing based on regression analysis. To answer the questions about determinant define the amount of cost and investments in environmental protection, and regressions analysis was performed according to the identified hypothesis 1, 2, 3. Slide 16 and 17. While characterizing the result of regression analysis with 3 independent variables for all costs, see table 4, it should be pointed out that significant factor influences the volume of total environmental protection expenditure were sales revenue, net profit, and companies belonging to environmentally dirty industry. The following factors are also significant for long-term environmental protection investment. However, the adjusted coefficients of determination for the model at 59% level indicate a sufficient explanatory power of the estimated model. There is a negative relationship for the net profit determinant, which refutes hypothesis 3. This result can be explained by the low volume of capital investment in environmental protection, the chronic unprofitability of companies, and the financing of current expenditure mainly by revenue. Based on the calculation, we can derive a model of multiple regression with weight coefficients. You can see on slide 18. Conclusion. The analysis revealed that despite the nominal increase in environmental spending, their share in GDP is insignificant. The share of capital investment by companies has dropped dramatically in recent years. It does not give opportunity to draw optimistic conclusion about the creation of the basic of the implementation of the policy of green growth in Ukraine. According to results, according about the relationship between the financial results of companies and environmental investment and the impact of environmental investments on the financial performance of the companies were not confirmed. The result of environmental activity of economic entities in Ukraine can be explained only from the standpoint of Slyusarenko's resource theory, since companies invest in long-term environmental projects only in the presence of Slyusarenko financial resources. Thank you for your attention.